Hi everyone. Today we're going to work on the budget and expenses part 2 assignment for your portfolio project. So we started budget and expenses, that file, we started it back in lesson 2. You were supposed to make a budget and you were supposed to start tracking your expenses, and you should have continued tracking your expenses up until now. And now you're going to turn it back in so that I can see that you're tracking your expenses, and you're also going to practice something called the sum function on Excel. So here's the instructions for this. You open up your budget and expenses spreadsheet that you started in lesson 2, and you make sure that all your income and expenses have been updated so that when you turn it in, I can see all your income and expenses for the last 4 weeks. And then you're going to use the sum function to create cells that are the total of your expenses and income, and I will show you how to do that. So just look at the rubric really quick to make sure we have everything. You're going to use an electronic spreadsheet, and you should have your updated expenses from the last 4 weeks. I will make sure that it's 4 weeks that you have tracked your expenses, and that the student has added totals to their spreadsheet using the sum function. I'm going to show you how to do that right now. Okay, and it's really easy and it's really fun. So here's my budget and expenses. I spelled my last name wrong. Silly me. Sorry. So here I have my budget right here. That's my planned for January. And then here I have my expenses for January. And then I started working on, here's my budget for February. And here's my expenses that I've tracked so far for February, right? Because we're in the middle of February, we're not done with that yet. And here's the categories that I have over here on the left. So I'll show you really quick what the sum function looks like, and then we're going to add it in over here in February. So here is the sum function. Right here under total income, if you look up here, you can see what formula I have in this cell right there. I have equals, which tells Excel that we're going to start writing an equation, and then I have the word sum in all capital letters, and then I have parentheses, and then I have a range, B5 to B6, and then close parentheses. If you look at this, B5 is right here, and B6 is right here. So what I've done is I've taken and added this and this. Sum, the word sum means the answer to an addition problem. So what it's doing is it's showing me when I add these two things together what I get, right? So what the sum function here does is it adds this, the numbers from this cell to the numbers from this cell, and it gives me the total right there, okay? So, and if you click on this, you can see it highlights exactly what you have adding up in there, which is kind of cool. All right, and then I'm going to hit the return button to get out of there, otherwise it'll start putting other things in there. And see, down here I have the sum of B10 through B16. If I click on that, you can see I'm adding up all those numbers. All right, and down here I have the sum of B20 all the way through B28. And down here, this one's interesting. I have the sum of B17 right here, the bills, and then I have a comma, and then I have B29. So if you click on that, you can see I'm adding this and this down here. So I have all my bills right here, and then I have my living expenses. These are kind of things that happen every month, and these are things that vary more, and I like to keep them separate. You can, of course, you can do it a different way, but that's the way I like to do it. So I add up my total expenses down here, and then down here under difference, I take and subtract my income from my total expenses to make sure that I am spending less than I make, right? All right, so now that you've seen the sum function, we're going to put it in right over here. So right here, this is under our income. We want our total income. We have our gross here. This is before taxes, and then this is after taxes, and this other is not taxed. So we want to add this number and this number. So we're going to type in equals, open parentheses, equals, and then we're going to type in the word sum, S-U-M. Capital S-U-M, and then open parentheses, and then we're just going to come up here with our cursor and click and drag down until we have exactly what we want, and then we close the parentheses and hit the return button. And this right here is the 2,000 plus the 100, and it gives us the total right there. The nice thing about this is if I go up here and change this, say I got, I had $100, right, that came in, and then my sister sent me some money for my birthday, right? So I add that in, it automatically changes the total down here. So you don't have to go change it. So now it's 2,000 plus 300, right? So let's do the sum function down here. equals SUM, open parentheses, and then I take my cursor and I click and drag till I get everything that I want, and then I close parentheses and hit return, and now that's adding up everything in this column right here for me. Okay, let's put the sum function down here, equals SUM, open parentheses, put it in, click and drag and close parentheses. Sorry for the loud noise, they're replacing our furnace today. Unfortunately, it died. And then down here, we're going to do this one a little bit different. This is the total expenses, so we want to add what's in this cell and this cell. So we're not going to click and drag. We're going to do equals, and then we're going to do SUM for sum, open parentheses, and then I'm going to click on this box, and then I'll type in a comma, and then I'll click on this box, and then I'll do the close parentheses. And now it's adding this number and this number right there, okay? And then this is not the sum function, but we want to find the difference. So we're going to take our total income and subtract the total expenses and hit return to see what the difference is. Okay? If you have any questions, please let me know, but that shows you how to do the sum function. If we go back here, so I used an electronic spreadsheet. I have my expenses for the last 4 weeks, and I use the sum function, so I should get full credit for that assignment. So again, if you have any questions, let me know, and have a great week.